Tonight, fire investigation in Cambridge.
It's normally a really quiet street.
Why police detectives and the Ontario Fire Marshal's office are both involved.
There's been one person that's been taken to the hospital.
A Grinch in Stratford?
They were destroyed for no reason whatsoever.
How you can help police with their investigation.
Well, today is a special day.
A special meeting.
She's not a huge fan of big crowds and loud noises.
Why seeing Santa is an unusual treat for these families.
CTV News at 6 with Abigail Beeman.
Good evening. An early morning fire in Cambridge sent one person to hospital, and late this afternoon, he or she was put on life support. Now, Waterloo Regional Police and the Ontario Fire Marshal's office are both investigating. CTV's Karina Sleds is following this story for us tonight, and Karina, officials are not sharing a lot of information here.
No, they aren't, Abigail, but what they are saying is that both police and the Cambridge Fire Department were called to the duplex for a structure fire, but when they got there, it was already out.
Detectives from the police department and the Ontario Fire Marshal's office spent most of the day sifting through a pile of burnt blankets and toys left scattered on the driveway of this Cambridge home. Just before 5 a.m., police say a 911 call came in reporting a fire had broken out.
Upon arrival, the fire was found to be extinguished already. As a result of the fire, there has been one person that's been taken to the hospital.
Late this afternoon, they were put on life support. Police aren't releasing the age or gender of the person who was hurt, but say a family with children live in the home.
There were other people that were inside the residence at the time that were managed to escape without injuries.
Neighbors who live on the street say they didn't see or hear anything unusual at the home, but many say they're disturbed by the heavy police presence.
It's a little nerve-wracking, without knowing what's going on or anything.
I have a 4-year-old daughter, so it's concerning having something happen so close to home.
Police say they're still in the early stages of their investigation. An officer will stand guard at the scene, and detectives plan to continue their search for evidence tomorrow.
And police are also asking anyone who may have information about this incident to contact them. Abigail?
Thanks, Karina. And a fire in Fergus kept firefighters busy for hours last night.
When we arrived on scene, the house was fully involved, impinging on the transport truck. Fire was quickly knocked down in 7 to 10 minutes. Crews went in and started an overhaul.
Fire officials say no one was hurt on Churchill Crescent, but as you can see, there is extensive damage to the home and the transport truck in the driveway. Damage to the house is pegged at $300,000, another $100,000 for the truck. While the cause is still under investigation, the fire chief tells us it may be electrical. The fire broke out in the basement ceiling below the main floor bathroom. It's not considered suspicious. A person is in hospital after an incident in a backyard where he was working on a vehicle. Crews were called to a home on Dale Crescent in Waterloo around 2:30 this afternoon. Orange Air Ambulance was also originally called in, but then called off. The man was transported by land ambulance to Grand River Hospital. Officials say his injuries are minor. Flattened tires and destroyed holiday decorations. Many living in a Stratford neighborhood woke up to find that they were victims of a Grinch-like vandalism spree. CTV's Krista Simpson has more on this story. Krista, a lot of people dealing with damage.
Abigail, police say they got a flurry of calls this morning, and they continued to get more reports throughout the day from people discovering damage to their properties.
Spending Sunday afternoon fixing a flat tire, the situation for many in this northeast Stratford neighborhood.
We've had approximately 15 vehicles, 20 tires have been slashed, which impacts a lot of people at this time of year. That's a lot of money.
Police say it appears a person or group of people made their way through the area, not only slashing tires, but also scratching vehicles, flattening Santa, a snowman, and ruining other Christmas decorations.
They've gone up to close to the residences and have removed the Christmas lights and have thrown those out onto the ground and smashed them as well.
Stratford police say it happened sometime between 9 o'clock Saturday night and 1 in the morning Sunday. The vandal or vandals hitting several streets.
A cordoned area in around the Devon Street, Avonwood, C.H. Meyer, Bab Crescent area.
They're hoping the public can help them find who's responsible.
If they were driving in the area in between those time periods, they saw a person, several people, give us the information, time, location, if there's any descriptions, that would certainly assist us at this time.
Stratford police say that they'll also be looking at any surveillance video from nearby businesses, hoping that cameras caught activity that could help them in their investigation. Abigail.
Thank you, Krista. Meanwhile, Waterloo Regional Police are investigating vandalism to vehicles in Cambridge. Police say early Saturday morning, someone damaged at least 8 vehicles on Woodside Avenue and St. Andrews Street. They say most were vandalized with spray paint, but one also had a concrete block thrown through the windshield. Police don't have any descriptions of who may be responsible. They're asking anyone else in the area who may have been hit by vandalism to contact them, as well as anyone who may have seen anything. A 17-year-old from Kitchener has been charged after police say a vehicle hit a Tim Hortons early this morning. It happened at the coffee shop on Cortland Drive. Police say the car had only minor damage and no one was hurt, but the estimated damage to the store is about $20,000. Police say the driver wasn't licensed and he did not let police know about the crash when it happened. He's now been charged with failing to report. Despite the damage, customers could still get their coffee today. It's an annual holiday tradition for many families with young children, but getting a photo with Santa can also mean stress, especially for children with disabilities or autism. As CTV's Mark Venema explains, that's no longer an issue in Cambridge. This morning, some children got some one-on-one with Santa himself.
Now, do you like dolls?
Yeah. It's an exciting day for the Aldrich family. Alexandria and her 3 daughters finally get the chance to meet Santa together.
It's great to be able to see them enjoy life and be children and just be happy.
For some families, this is a yearly ritual.
Yay for Christmas!
For others, like the Aldrich family, it's a rarity. Little Olivia has cerebral palsy, epilepsy, and sensory disorders. She doesn't like big crowds or loud noise. So meeting Santa is a challenge, at least it used to be.
Today is a special day.
Thanks to a program in Cambridge, children now have the chance to meet sensitive Santa before the mall opens in a quiet, comfortable setting.
I will not be as rambunctious with these children as I do with other children during the daytime.
And it seems to be working. Many children seemed quite comfortable. Olivia was even brave enough to steal Santa's hat.
Oh, look what you did.
The event is organized by the Cambridge Centre along with the city. It'll run 3 times this month. Registration is already full and there is a waiting list.
This is the 2nd straight year the Cambridge Centre has hosted Sensitive Santa. Such a success, officials say it'll likely become an annual event.
Ho, ho, ho.
And because the concept is still fairly new, some children are meeting the man in red for the first time.
We have some of the older kids that, they may be around 10 or 12 years old and they've never had the opportunity.
And when they finally do meet Santa, the smiles are contagious. The conversation on what else but toys.
They still want the same things as superheroes, or they want their cars and their trucks. And they want, like for the little girls and stuff, they want their dolls.
Mark Venema, CTV News, Cambridge.
And right now, Santa is making a stop in New Hamburg. That parade kicked off at 6. We'll take you there live. Lots of emergency sirens happening right now. That parade starts and ends at Norm Hill Park, and it rolls through New Hamburg's Main Street. The parade is a joint effort between the Optimists, the Lions Club, and the New Hamburg Board of Trade, and it's also a chance to give back. A float from the Wilmot Family Resource Center is collecting food items for those in need, and we'll try to take you back to that parade later in the show. Well, time for weather, and Jennifer, not a bad day to be out along the parade route.
No, it's not a bad day. Last night would have been a little bit nicer, a little bit more mild, but a great night tonight as well. And speaking of the evening, did you get a chance to take in that moon last night? A full moon. It was so big and bright and beautiful. If you didn't, maybe you should go out tonight and take a look at it. You'll get another chance because it is partly cloudy skies again tonight. So a great thing to take in. Hopefully you all had a chance to take in the sunshine as well today. What a great day we had. Although it was a little bit cooler than what we had yesterday. Temperature right now -5, and yesterday at this time we were still at 1 degree, so quite a bit cooler actually. Barometer at 103.9 and the wind from the east-southeast at 22 kilometers an hour. So not only is the temperature about 6 degrees colder than what we had yesterday, but we're also dealing with a little bit of a wind chill. So -5 right now in Kitchener-Waterloo, -4 for Mount Forest, Toronto and Hamilton, -3 in London. But when you factor in the wind chill, we're down to -12 right now in Kitchener-Waterloo, -8 for Mount Forest in Toronto, -11 in Hamilton. So it is a chilly night, and hopefully everyone out at the parade bundled up. I'm sure they did. Now, a little bit of cloud moving in overnight tonight, and you are going to see that continue through the day tomorrow with partly cloudy skies. The biggest thing we're looking for this week is a system moving in for Tuesday. And we're going to get probably some flurries, maybe some wet snow, maybe even some rain. It will be quite mild for us on Tuesday. A different story for areas in eastern Ontario where they're going to have quite a bit of snow. Already some special weather statements in place for Ottawa and surrounding areas where they'll get quite a bit of accumulation. For us, not as likely, and we'll continue to update you tomorrow even as that system gets a little bit closer. As for this evening, -6 is the low, and don't forget about the wind chill, the partly cloudy skies, and tomorrow again, mix of sun and cloud at 1 degree. It will be quite a mild week. By Tuesday, again, we're getting into some of that wet snow, 3 degrees. On Wednesday, flurries, and a 40% chance of flurries, and -1. On Thursday, a chance of flurries again, 0. And then really nice for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and warming up quite a bit on the weekend, up to 5 degrees on Saturday and 4 degrees on Sunday. Abigail?
Thanks, Jen. Thousands of fans made their way to Montreal's Bell Centre today for the public viewing of the casket of hockey great Jean Béliveau. Among the mourners, former hockey players, politicians, but also fans. As CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin reports, almost all sharing a story about meeting the legend.
The faithful fans of the legendary Jean Béliveau made a pilgrimage through the hushed hockey rink turned funeral home. His widow, daughter, 2 granddaughters, shaking hand after hand. Among mourners, so many friends.
He was the most humble, magnificent man. In sports,
Tough guys that battled on the ice alongside the elegant center fought back tears too. By his casket, the trophies on which the Béliveau name is engraved, the Stanley Cup, the Hart, Conn Smythe. And nearby, the illuminated seat behind the player's bench from which he cheered on the team in retirement. And all around, his signature, the one he gave out so often to the fans.
But Jean Béliveau said to me, "It's so nice to make people happy just by signing my name."
And so among those lining up, many carrying souvenirs.
And this would have been his last year before he retired.
Most adorned with that signature. Gary Hudson sent a note to the Canadians when Béliveau was diagnosed with cancer.
So I got this in the mail. Sincere thanks for your kind words, Jean Béliveau.
In that perfect signature. Yeah. Perfect penmanship because he took the time, says Montreal Mayor Denis Coderre.
Mr. Béliveau was always taking the time. So no, take your time. So the person, when they will have that, will be able to read the name.
A name synonymous with class on the ice, but also off the ice. And that's something other legends of the game tried to do.
I said, if Jack can do his mail, why not me?
He also embodied grace and elegance, an image of what we would like ourselves to be, says Quebec Premier Philippe Couillard.
At a time where Quebecers in general, Francophone Quebecers in particular, needed much more confidence in themselves. And I think that he is one of them, one of the elements that created that confidence.
Thousands more fans are expected to pay their respects here on Monday and at the funeral on Wednesday. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
And we keep hearing that word class used when describing.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think he played so well, but he played the right way, Abigail. So we're going to talk some hockey. Junior B brand, Abigail. And after winning 12 straight, the Elmira Sugar Kings saw their winning streak snapped by the Kitchener Dutchmen on Tuesday night. This weekend, the Sugar Kings went about trying to start another streak. They started with a win over Brampton on Saturday night. This afternoon, the Sugar Kings had their sights set on Waterloo. Siskins were coming off a loss to the Dutchmen last night. They find themselves in 3rd place in the Midwestern Conference. The Sugar Kings are in 1st place, 11-2 at home, and Elmira gets the game's first goal. Zach Coulter sets up Alex Mutton. Look at him pick the top shelf. The new Dundee native opens the scoring less than 7 minutes in. Under 2 minutes left in the period, Eric Palazzolo going to the net. His backhand is stopped. Cash Seraphin whacks in the rebound. Number 10 for the money man, 2-0 Elmira. Final minute of the period. Waterloo on a power play. Nick Hurst with the one-timer through traffic. Siskins cut the lead to 2-1 after 1. Sugar Kings on a power play here in the second. Adam Brubaker will fire. Alex Mutton all over that rebound in front. His second of the day, 10th of the season. Make it 3-1 Elmira. Siskins answer 27 seconds later. Connor Bodnar snipes one. His fourth brings Waterloo to within a goal. Look at the Siskins fighting for the puck along the end boards, and it's Chase Campbell roofing it. His 8th of the season ties this game up at 3. Final seconds of the period. Watch number 9, Christian Rakowski, on the left side of your screen. Listen for the buzzer. Rakowski's goal counts, comes at exactly 20 minutes. Rakowski would add 2 more in the third to complete a hat trick. He is the leading scorer in the Greater Ontario now with 26 goals and 48 points, and Rakowski's the reason the Siskins double up the Sugar Kings today 8-4. The Guelph Storm in Saginaw, 3-1 Storm lead in the third. Goal scorers for Guelph, Chad Bowman opened things up just over 6 minutes in. Pius Suter scored his 18th with a minute to go in the first. Jason Dickinson notched his 10th late in the second. Saginaw did get on the board in the third. That's a good thing because it's teddy bear toss day in Saginaw, so they finally got the Bears to hit the ice in the third. National Ringette League today. Cambridge Turbos edged the Waterloo Wildfire 8-6. Jackie Gaudette led the Turbos with 4 goals. An incredible weekend for Larissa Yurku on the World Cup ski tour. The Owen Sound native has made it all the way back from 2 knee surgeries. On Saturday, Yurku almost reached the podium, finishing 4th in the downhill. The 26-year-old missed out on 3rd place by less than 0.2 of a second. That is a career best. Today, Yurku competed in the Super G, finished in 20th place. And she's a great story because she had to fund herself after she had the knee surgery. She was really the only one that believed in herself, and boy, has she really come through.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Impressive. Well, 2 stories to end our show this evening. First, a special Christmas concert for a cause in Waterloo last night. This is the Waterloo Regional Police Male Chorus performing at the First Baptist Church. The concert is called Rejoice, It's Christmas. There were also special performances by Inuk artist Susan Aglukark and the Eastwood Treble Choir. Proceeds from the event go to support Monica Place and the Arctic Rose Project.
Happy holidays, guys!
It has been a busy weekend for Santa. Jolly Old St. Nick made appearances at close to a dozen community parades over the weekend, including this one in Palmerston last night. There were lots of bagpipes and decorated farm vehicles, as well as traditional floats. One truck featured Miss Ontario Firefighter 2014. That's her. She's from the Minto Fire Department. The parade kicked off at 7 last night on the town's main street. Well, thank you for joining us for this special web edition of CTV News at 6. We will say goodnight and leave you with some live pictures of the New Hamburg Santa Claus Parade happening right now. And we will be back on the air tonight at 11:30.